Joining us on the dais now is Cincinnati head coach Wes Miller, along with Jizzle James. Coach, when you're comfortable, if you just start us off with some general comments about the game.
Yeah, well, I thought our guys were obviously our whole program was disappointed coming into the tournament with our play the last week of the regular season, and I was really proud of the way our guys came here and responded, and I thought we played with great effort yesterday, and I thought for 35 minutes tonight we played with great effort. I thought our frustration kind of got the best of us when it felt out of hand there at the end, but our guys fought, and I thought there was a lid on it a little bit tonight. They're a great defensive team, but we generated some really good shots tonight and just felt like we couldn't get them to go like we wanted, but we kind of stayed with it. And then I think Dylan's dunk at 14 left in the second half cuts it to 3. We get it back to 5 a couple times. I'm obviously not happy with the outcome and disappointed, but we had our chances against a good team.
Okay, please remember to raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Let's go to the second row here on the left here, Coach.
Keegan Nickerson with Bearcat Journal. You kind of mentioned the 3-point disadvantage and then also against Kansas State when they took a 1-point lead and just how dejected your guys were. Did you kind of see that situation today of the 6-0 run right after that kind of having a big impact?
No, I didn't think that happened. I thought we dunk it. I think they go down. I think they score at the rim, and then I think we just made a bad read. We ran a good action, and it kind of wasn't there. We got the turnover on the baseline, and we get it back to 5. I didn't see that. I think when it got double figures in the last 2.5 minutes of the game, I think a lot of frustration and just being at this where we are at this point in the year kind of showed there. But no, I didn't think while the game was still in hand, I didn't see that. We just didn't kind of convert some plays. I thought our guys' fight was there tonight. If anything, we've seen this a lot with them this year. They wanted it too bad. I mean, I think Josh has a 3 with like 4 and some change, and I think it's a 9-point game. And if it goes in, it cuts it to 6. It was a really good look, and you could just see on his face and when he didn't go in. Sometimes we've wanted it too bad at times. So I didn't see the give in at all. And listen, in the last 2 minutes, when they kind of felt like it was over, I thought we showed some frustration, but outside of that, no, I didn't see that when they made a run.
Let's go to the second row here on the right.
Scott Springer, Cincinnati Enquirer. Anything you can pinpoint on the rebounding? You rebounded the ball really well yesterday, and then today Iowa State got you pretty good again.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a lack of effort, Scott. I think AZ getting in the foul trouble, that hurts, and we got to play small. And we're just giving up a lot of size and physicality. Certainly there's possessions here and there where you miss a box out or you don't get after the ball like you should. But I thought the overall effort to the ball isn't necessarily accurate in the rebound and despairs. I thought some of it was just, playing a really small front court, being depleted in the front court. Again, you take out the last 2 minutes of the game. Our fight was fine. We couldn't convert enough. We made a couple defensive errors in the second half, but it wasn't a lack of try.
Tyler Easterday, the News Record. 12-2 start for Iowa State out of the gate. How detrimental was that, kind of getting off to that slow start to start the game?
You always want to get off to a good start. That has not been a problem with our team. We usually get off to pretty dang good starts. But, again, there was a little bit of a lid on it. I thought we got some pretty good looks there early in the game, and they just didn't quite go. But, again, we stayed with it. It's like I told our guys at halftime, I think we're down 9 at half, and we could not make a shot. And I thought their toughness and their fight is the only reason that we were in a 3-possession game.
Okay, here on the left on the third row.
Keegan Nickerson with Bearcat Journal. Jizzle, what would you say is the biggest thing you've learned in year 2 in the Big 12?
I would say the biggest thing I learned this year is just responding to adversity. We had, some tough stretches, and, we had some games go how we did not want them to go. So it's just how you bounce back, sticking together, blocking out all the outside noise and just standing together as a team and just trying to complete the mission that you set out to do at the beginning of the season.
We're going to go back here to the right on the second row.
Coach, what happens from here, assuming you go to the Crown tournament that's 19 days away? What does the schedule look like? I'm sure you haven't really wrapped your head around that, but it's a long time.
Yeah, no, the thing that we've been focused on is trying to play in the NCAA tournament, and I think we were 40th in the net before we played Kansas State at home less than a week ago, right? So it felt within reach. You come here, we felt like we could play with everybody in this league and make a run here. So that's been we haven't talked about anything past that at this point. And I think the thing that I told our guys in the locker room is, and Jizzle just echoed it a little bit, is listen, man, we're disappointed to be in the position we're in. We felt like we had a team that could make a run in the NCAA tournament, not just before the season started, but a bunch of points throughout the year. The thing that I implored each of them to do, and I think we need to do the same thing as a staff, every one of us, is to take what we experienced this year and learn from it. Like this can be a very, very valuable thing for all of us moving forward if we'll learn from it. There's a lot of lessons to be learned this year. And to me, that's again, my mindset right now is there. And my mindset is, getting this team back to Cincinnati.
Would you have enough if you got into another tournament?
I hadn't thought about it, Scott. I hadn't thought about anything other than the NCAA tournament at this point.
Let's go here to the left.
Same question that I asked Jizzle. What would you say is the biggest thing you learned as a coach? You talked about how year one in the Big 12 was such a change. What about year two?
Yeah, there's like I just kind of said to the team, there's a numerous amount of things that we learned this year. And I'm not gonna, you're local with this, Keegan, so you can ask that question at the next press conference, and we can kind of dive into that. We're just fresh off, and we're crushed off of a game. Our guys played their hearts out here in Kansas City. They're crushed. They were responding to a bad week last week the way we all expected them to, and we just couldn't get over the hump tonight, and they're crushed. So, I'll get into, there's a laundry list of things, but I think don't even want to start, right? Because there's a laundry list, but there's a physical. You mentioned the rebounding. There's a physicality in this league, that's different than other leagues. You got to have a level of physicality, that's for sure. But there's a number that's just off of tonight, right? Because I don't think our effort to the board was any different tonight than it was yesterday. I don't think it was any different. I think Jizzle would tell you the same thing. But the teams that are in the top half of this league, it's a different deal, and that's where we expect to be. And so there's just one example. Like, we have to make sure that we have the right level of size and physicality when we put lineups out on the court. And tonight, again, it wasn't a fight thing, but you're looking out at lineups where you just don't have, Deshaun Jackson, look at his numbers, right? He's got 15 rebounds. He's 260, 270 pounds. Joshua Jefferson, he's 6'9", he's 200, I'm guessing, but he looks like he's about 245, 250 pounds. And, there's a level of physicality that we got to make sure that we have.
Okay, any other questions? Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks.
Good luck to you.